Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. So today's episode, we're going to talk about the homeless situation that has exploded here in New York City. Now, a lot of you who live in New York City, you're seeing it for yourselves. You're walking down the street, you're seeing more homeless people on the street, you're seeing people downtown New York pitching tents, right? You have people just laying in the middle of the street. I mean, legitimately just laying in the street. You have people setting up shop in old doorways that are not being used and or service doorways. So the homeless situation is getting out of control. Now, back in the 80s, again, dating myself, the homeless situation was bad. There were homeless people everywhere, begging all the time, trying to wash their windows, clean their windows, again, begging for money constantly, and in some cases, food. So now here we are, 2021, we're back in the same boat. And all I see is homeless people everywhere. My walk to work, homeless people. Now, I'm not going to sit there when I'm, on my walk to work and be like, hey guys, look at this homeless dude standing here. I'm not going to do that. Now, along my walks to work, I see homeless people. And because I'm focused on the video, I'm not going to sit there and just be like, hey, look at this, homeless dude. But I am going to do a video showing homeless people pitching tents and sleeping on street corners and things like that in a couple of days, just to show you how bad it is, at least downtown. There was a homeless encampment by the Yankee Stadium underneath an overpass, but that has since been moved, and that was last year I saw that. I didn't think anything of it then, but they're also camping out in Central Park. So there are little homeless encampments there as well, people pitching tents where you normally can't see them. They're not like out in the open, though there was a couple that was sleeping out in the open downtown New York, and this is what the campsite looked like. And this is in the middle of an island, so like a street island, if you will, where you stop off, pedestrians stop off if they can't catch the light. This is where the tent was set up. So now, guys, with homelessness comes crime, comes more drugs, in rare cases diseases, but that hasn't happened in a while, though all bets are off, being that we're in 2021. So with that, guys, crime goes up, drug use goes up. Now, here in New York City, we the shitbag mayor put homeless people in hotel rooms. So if a hotel had vacancies in their room, the city placed homeless people in those hotel rooms. That became a burden, because now certain hotels, like the one on 100 and I think it's 64th Street in the Bronx, they have now been completely turned into a homeless shelter. Keep in mind, this used to be a hotel, and when you went on was it Travelocity or TripAdvisor, you go on there and you type the hotel in, it still comes up as a hotel, but meanwhile it's a homeless shelter. So a lot of these like off the beaten path hotels in the city have turned into homeless shelters. But they started doing that to, and I'm new to this one, they started doing that to hotels that were also on the main strip. So this hotel here downtown New York that is off of 10th Ave, this hotel has now been converted into a homeless shelter. Keep in mind, I think they're still opened up as a hotel, but when I mean converted into a homeless shelter, that's all that stays there now, or homeless people. Now, the homeless situation here in New York City is becoming a problem because there's a homeless guy with an encampment here just down the block from me. Now, all he's doing is throwing garbage together and fashioning it up into some kind of a structure. Not a safe structure, but a structure nonetheless. And he's living in there. And now he's out on the path of this park and he's just hanging out. Now, the problem with the homeless people here in New York is a lot of them, I don't know the percentage, but a large majority of these people are psych patients. And homeless people that don't have a place to stay, don't have medications to take, right? They go off their meds, if you will, or go off the rails, and they start doing shit like pushing people in the train track, stabbing people for no apparent reason, hitting cops in the head with a stick. These are the things that go on, and that drives the crime up. So crime spikes also because of homeless people doing shit that they're not supposed to be doing, clearly, but because it's going unchecked, because they don't have a place to go, they don't have a place to report to. Now, one side of me, I told you this before, psych patients need to be put back in psych hospitals. You can't let these people roam the streets and thinking, well, you know what, as long as they take their meds. Psych patients inherently don't stay in their meds. They come off of it, they start acting out again, they start lashing out, they start hurting people. That drives crime up. So the crime rate's going up, like I said, for many reasons, but now homelessness is another reason. So the homeless situation downtown New York is just blowing up. People are just hanging out in these street islands, if you will, or they're called Green Street Parks, right? They hang out there, and that's it, right? And then they hide off somewhere at night, and then they come back out, right? So, and then they frequent the train station. And the train station last year had this homeless guy here set up an entire fucking encampment on the train. Again, because of shitbag mayor. A fucking mayor that wants to be focused on new train systems, or rail systems, trolley system in Brooklyn. He wants to make the waterways cleaner. But forget about the crime, the kids getting shot, the drugs that are fucking starting to climb up, the gang violence. Forget all of that shit. But let's focus on the things that will make the quality of life better. Well, listen, fuckface of New York, the mayor. You can't fucking fix the quality of life if you don't fix the fucking crime. It's not how it works. You have to fix the crime first, then the quality of life. You don't fix the quality of life by adding a trolley system and clean waterways and more boats and more trains and more buses without fixing the crime. Because then people are going to want to do is leave. So, obviously the mayor's not going to watch this because, you know, he's got other shit to worry about, like how much weed he's going to smoke tonight. That's the kind of fucking mayor we have here. We have an imbecile who refuses to fix his city. We have an imbecile who fucking rather focus on the smaller things that don't matter, right? He focused on Asian hate. Okay, a couple of Asians got their ass handed to you. Meanwhile, people are dying left and right in the street. Real shit, right? He wants to focus on the gay pride parade that's coming up in June, but he doesn't want to focus on the little kids getting shot in the street. So, if you live in New York City, if you're thinking of visiting New York City, don't. If you live in New York City, keep your head on the swivel. The psych patients are not the majority of homeless, but are a lot of the homeless. And these guys have been snapping. They've been pushing people in the tracks. Like I said, they've been stabbing people and beating people up for no apparent reason. So, this is another reason for crime going up. It's because of the lack of attention that the homeless are getting. And as far as I'm concerned, the homeless patients with psych issues need to go back in the psych ward. They should not be roaming free because they need a chance to live too. Fuck them. Their mind is fucked up. There's nothing that can be done with it. You cannot reverse psych issues. You could put them on meds for a little while to keep them at bay. But at some point, you got to put them back in the fucking psych center and let them live out the rest of their lives there. It's just how it is, guys. Anyway, this is the Angryprepper. Thank you for watching. You can like and subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And as the Angry Truth channel, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Telegram. And as the Angryprepper, you can now follow me on Telegram as well. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching.